everyone! So for those of you who are more up to date than I usually am, you probably already know that the voice actor for Broly has been already replaced. And news broke out more recently that the brand new voice actor for Broly is none other than Johnny Young Bosch. Now I think this was an interesting pick. One, because he has virtually no drama behind him. He's kind to fans. He's not verified on Twitter, which is a little bit weird. You should probably look into doing that. He didn't play any part in the whole Kick Vic or I Stand With Vic thing that went down. And people for the most part like him. In my personal opinion, I do think he's a very good voice actor. And right now it seems like both Kick Vic and I Stand With Vic are both very pleased with the alternative to the Broly voice. Now, I wouldn't go ahead and say that Johnny Young Bosch is by any means Kick Vic, which I think is pretty interesting. He had this to say about taking up the role of Broly. He said that he actually talked with Vic about it briefly, and although Vic would rather, continue being the voice of Broly, he's glad that Johnny is taking up the torch. He says he's a great actor and these are big shoes to fill. So I wouldn't say that he's Kick Vic if he's especially still on speaking terms with Vic of all things. Now, of course, rehiring a voice actor for Broly, Funimation will want to try their best to appease people who were very big fans of Vic by trying to get someone who doesn't have any drama connected to them. And of course, the idea that Vic actually approves of this voice actor will definitely appease people who are fans of Vic. But I can only imagine the intensity of taking up a role where the original guy got fired because of rumors. I think that's a situation that everyone got very anxious about. If you're in a big role and you have the risk of rumors spreading about you, you could get fired and then you could have your entire career ruined. And the realization that that could be your reality will make you quite cautious. Which brings me over to this. Now, I do want to clarify, because of all this stuff, the first person who made a tweet was this person over here, who I am blocked from. Obviously, not because I had any interaction with this person, probably because I follow Vic. They don't really sound like a Vic fan, and they might be on the Kick Vic side. I'm not even a huge Vic fan myself. I just follow him because I'm interested in the lawsuit and I want to know how it ends. But they were saying how they liked the new change of voice and that they were excited for Johnny Young, and they basically said, maybe it was a blessing in disguise that Vic got fired from the Broly role. To which this other person, Mr. Doorknob, who has, I believe, privated their account. By the sound of this message, it sounds like they privated their account. Probably because they were getting a lot more attention than they bargained for. But they brought up this accusation that they heard from someone that Johnny had been in a podcast with some women who were told to wear short skirts to get more clicks for the podcast. And he responds to this immediately, saying, "Total BS. I was cast as a host and nothing to do with wardrobe for others. Just ask those in charge of the show over at Bang Zoom. This is a complete lie and the dumbest thing I've ever heard." He's actually made multiple tweets about this as the conversation continued. "I have no problem if you don't like me, but to spread outlandish rumors is ridiculous. We can ask any female that was on the show, but I imagine whoever you're talking to that doesn't exist, so what other story do you have? I expected some drama, but not a completely fabricated story. We shot a ton of episodes in a row. I was too busy memorizing my lines and changing my own clothes. My wife was even there for the shoot." Now, normally what I would say is, for the most part, maybe you should ignore this type of talk. I'm not a huge fan of replying to people on Twitter unless we're having a good conversation with each other. If you just tweet at me haha, you're a retarded, or well, why would I reply to that? You know what I mean? But in this scenario, I think Johnny is being a lot more cautious, and he's making sure to immediately silence a rumor before it spreads even further. And that's the type of tension that Funimation has now created, because he knows now that if that rumor keeps on spreading, if people actually start to believe those rumors, he could be next to be fired and blacklisted and never find work again. Now, do I think that would actually happen to Johnny? I don't know. I would think that Funimation, after enduring this lawsuit and all this slander to their name, that they would be a lot more cautious about firing people in the future. And maybe that's the only good thing that's coming out of this lawsuit, is the fact that Funimation will be more cautious in the future and not so trigger happy to fire people based on rumors. But I think Johnny is trying to play it safe by silencing the rumor before it can spread. And maybe that is the best way to go about it. Maybe you want your name to be as clean as possible and remain that way, so whenever someone starts spreading a lie, you find them and you bam, you're lying. And it does look like that person has been silenced, as they have privated their account, and I don't see them making any more tweets about Johnny in the future. He was also extra careful to be sure everyone knows, you can ask any women there. Go ahead and ask all the women who were on that podcast, who were on that show, and I'm sure that they'll tell you I did not do that. So he's very, very confident that he can defend himself against a false accusation, and that's good. It's very unfortunate that this situation that happened with Vic has now caused this anxiety to exist. Obviously, it would be much better if being fired for rumors was not even a possibility to begin with. But regardless, I'm going to be wishing Johnny Young the best of luck. Stay safe, man. I mean, a lot of people are rooting for you. As far as hearing what Johnny Young sounds like as the Broly voice, I think the new Dragon Ball Z video game that came out, it features his voice, so I've seen that going around on Twitter. I'll leave a link to that down below, because I'm sure some of you might be curious to hear what he sounds like. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like the video and comment down below, what do you think about JYB, Johnny Young Bosch, voicing Broly? What do you think about some people trying to spread a rumor about him outright? Any and all thoughts you have, leave them down below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Program restart.